Hello, hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. And so I'm Renaud Alliou. I'm the CTO co-founder of Preligens, and which is an AI company for defense and intelligence application. And today I will talk about how we basically crack the automatic analysis of satellite imagery. So how we manage to automatize processing the detection on satellite images thanks to artificial intelligence and especially deep learning. So what's the problem exactly we are trying to crack? So as I said in introduction, we are AI for intelligence and defense company, and we were working on geointelligence, so we wanted to automatize geointelligence. What is geointelligence? Is like basically getting information from map or satellite images. And so we wanted, especially on satellite imaging, to be able to count, to get signals from the satellite images, to get alert. There is lots of satellite images. There's lots of data coming in, and the analysts need to focus on what's going on, and so get alert, count objects automatically, detect new signal, detect new patterns, and identify threats or new intelligence. But this is complex, so we need to do that on various targets. So there is plane, you see it, you have to identify plane, you have also to identify cars, armored vehicles, lots of different signals, lots of different objects, and the conditions also are complex. So sometimes you are 600 kilometers from the ground with a satellite, sometimes you have clouds, sometimes you have snow, sometimes you have different landscape, different orientation of the sensor, different lighting conditions. And the object can be very small compared to what you are used to when you are doing AI and images, for example, on smartphone images. So it's very different to what we are used to see as a deep learning application, for example, with Google or Facebook application, where you have basically to classify cats and dogs or putting square around like peoples. This is kind of very different challenge. But basically we managed to get something done which is like very good performances and what was very great. First, the productivity. So basically one of the points of AI at the beginning is not only performances, everybody focuses on performance, but the key thing is putting AI in production. In lots of organizations there is experimentation, there is like notebook done, but it never sees production. We have managed at Preligens to get from research to production in less than 3 months usually. So when I say research from production, it's not like from the paper to the production, but when we qualify your research, when we say this research is interesting for the client, usually get to the client in less than 3 months. We are also able now with the whole infrastructure to have like more than 50 new iterations per month for each algorithm. So new training, new experiment, new parameter, so which allows to get in production faster and to put new algorithm and innovation in production. And last not the least, we have also a data pipeline, which allows, because I think you all know that like for doing AI, for doing machine learning, usually you need to have training basis, like training object. And so you need to get satellite images to get like some what we call ground truth, annotation on that, and feed that to the algorithm for training. And so the first thing is to get the database. And we manage with our process to have like today more than 5 million objects in our database to train bunch loads of algorithms from submarine to helicopters to cars or road tracks. But also getting production is great, but you have also to get performances. And usually we have like algorithm with amazing performances. And what is interesting, the number, you can get any number from everyone. The point is, where do you get this number? And we managed to get performances at the client. We managed to get the client test the algorithm himself and get performances usually above 90 or 95% in terms of detection rate, with very few false positive. So that's kind of very interesting to get the client himself getting these performances. And we have some testimony of some NATO client who published that he had like better performances in his premises, and we had ourselves tested. So that's quite very satisfying. So basically, how we managed to do that? This is the point, the point of the topic. How we managed to get this productivity and this performance. So the first thing, recruit the best people and unlock organizational blockers. So I will not say it's easy to recruit good people, but you are a startup, you are doing AI, you are doing space stuff. That like if there is some geeks around, they will be interesting about your company. But you have to put them in a context and organization where they are productive and where they can unlock the technology and put it towards the client hands and not like get in silos. And so at Preligens, we have 3 AI teams. We have research team, ML engineering team, so we call that engineering team, and production team. And every one of these data scientists and engineers code. So we don't have like people doing math and people doing code. No, everyone codes, and we have strong coding test before even entering a research position. Because you need to have like everyone together trying to push in the same direction. And if there is people like doing math, people coding the math, etc., it's like getting some kind of like silos and blockers, and people, they don't talk to each other. Now we have this whole culture that everybody codes. And also everybody is experimenting. Everybody is doing R&D. There is a research team which is doing more long term. And so they are focusing on 9 to 12 months blocker. But in the production team, they are doing R&D, they are doing iteration, they have the liberty to try new stuff. So everybody is doing new stuff, everybody is doing like exciting stuff, even if you are not in the research team, and even everybody needs to code, even if you are not in the engineering team. And finally, one of the key is this engineering block. This engineering block, usually in organization, machine learning engineering, they are like coding the experiment of others. So they are taking like experiment of mathematicians and they are putting them in code. That's not what we do. Engineering team at Preligens, they are just coding tools for others. So they are coding this big framework, which is going, I will explain later, going from data to inference, the whole framework, but they are coding tools for others, and everybody can also contribute to the tools. And so they are just the experts in terms of coding, in terms of architecture, in terms of machine learning engineering, but they are not, taking the code of someone to put it in production, because we think that that's lack ownership for people from R&D or production. And the second thing is like, of course, when you are doing AI, you have to be good at science and bring R&D. Why? Because AI is moving so fast that you have to take what is doing by Facebook, Google, and everything, and put it to the space sector. And so to do that, we have invested a lot in research. We have like I think 20% or 30% of the team, which is like in the AI research team I described. And their task is to unlock problem, to really focus on, take time on a new technology and qualify if this technology is interesting for the production. So we manage to, and when this technology is interesting in production, we put it in the framework I talk about, and I will describe. So how it works, that means that every now and then, every 6 months, there is a new module in this framework, which comes directly from a research paper and from top-level science research. So we managed to get this researcher try new stuff, improve technology, and it has everyone code. They code it directly in the framework, and so it's available for anyone in the company. And so you have like 20, 30 modules in our framework, and all of them are like from 3 to 6, 9 months of research together. So that we capitalize a lot. So in terms of research effort in this framework, there is, I think, like several years or tens of years of one human in the whole framework in research. And so that's very unique, I think, in the way of functioning, in the way of unlocking research, and that's how we put it in production. And the last one is this framework I was talking about. So we have built a hand-to-hand pipeline, because why we have built it? Because this pipeline does not exist. There is lots of tools, lots of stuff, lots of different modules which are available in the market or in the open source area for AI, but nothing was doing the whole process. From data annotation to the prediction to the engine to launch your prediction. And so we decided with his engineering team and all the AI team to really put a lot of focus on the tools, on this framework, and to build all end-to-end process. So we have the data annotations where we have our whole own data annotation platform, Source Satellite Images. We have more than, today we are 60 or 70 people annotating images as we speak, always, so putting dots on object, put it like classifying airplane, classifying boats. And after, we have a way to explore all this data, to look at them. You know, if you want to launch a training, or if you want to build an AI on, I don't know, snow images where there is submarines, you know, and you can do it in our framework. You just have to go. You just have to like do a research, and we'll get you all the images in our database when there is submarine and snow, and probably, for example, in East Europe. And up, I want all these images, like, and you get it, and you can build a training base, and you can build a database to learn your algorithm. And after I talk about it, we have this whole modular framework when you can train algorithm very in a very user-friendly way, but a lot of power in terms of modularity, in terms of the different bricks there is in it, because there is like 20 or 30 different options that come directly from the research. So you can train like new type of algorithm in just like few clicks, and you can customize new type of networks or new type of deep learning architecture without having to reinvent anything or to be an expert. And that's very powerful because it means like, even if when you are getting a data scientist which is just coming from out from engineering school and very junior, he has, thanks to the frameworks, he has like access to the whole knowledge of the organization in terms of process, in terms of research, and in terms of computing power. And finally, after training, we also have our own prediction engine, so something to like launch prediction. We can deploy at every client in every way. And this whole prediction engine is like completely autonomous and can do lots of different stuff in it. And you can combine different neural networks. You can also add pre-processing, add post-treatment, add different type of technological bricks. So at the end, you have a whole algorithm, a whole like process, which is not only AI or only like focus on putting dot on satellite images, but it's really dedicated to solving the client need. So that's something, a very powerful application we can get to. So that's basically my last slide. So if you have any question, even I don't know if we take question, but we'll be happy to answer them in the stand below, where there is some people of the company, and I will be happy to see you there. So, maybe I will leave.